Hey, what's up? It's Monday. Yes, it's Rumor and Innuendo. I'm Dominic D'Angelo of adfreeshows.com, SEScoops.com, and brassringmedia.com. Check it out. But today, I'm here with Mr. Robert Karpelis, who makes his return to the show, WE Creative _ish, also known as. Robert, welcome back, man.
Dude, I leave for a week. You didn't wander into traffic.
No.
But the amount of trouble you seem to have gotten yourself into, Mr. D'Angelo, this is why, guys, I can't go out of town. I can't leave. It's not the kids, not my actual children I need to worry about. It's this guy who's in the box next to me, best producer in all of professional wrestling, and a man who needs to call me before making any decisions in life.
Apparently, because my goodness, we did talk Billy in the CW. I think that's what you're talking about, right, Robert? Right?
I mean, yeah. First of all, I get a text that Dom's talking about Billy in the CW, and I'm like, all right, this is already bad. And then I saw that for whatever reason, you and a producer of another podcast show are going to war.
Oh yeah.
I never thought I'd live to see long enough where Dan, Mike, and Scott are my three least problematic co-hosts.
It's
three comedians who have said some of the most incendiary and hurtful roast things ever. They're not it's whoever's sitting in the box next to me on Rumor and Innuendo seems to be the guy that's getting into all the trouble.
It's been rough.
If you need a good lawyer, I can connect you with Stephen P. New.
Oh, hey, yeah, I already have his connection.
Former guest of Rumor and Innuendo.
It's a long history.
Dude, Dom, we don't have time for this nonsense.
Here's
all I'm going to say.
Yes.
Dom's a good man. Anything else is Rumor and Innuendo. And speaking of Rumor and Innuendo, there was about 1,000 hours of professional wrestling content on Saturday. And we're going to have to cover it in 28 minutes.
Hey, can we do it? Let's see. We'll say hi to some folks in the chat real quick.
We don't have time to say hi to people. The hell with people. They know they're here.
All right. Hi,
I'm kidding. I missed E. What did E say? Did he say what's up? He said that he did the thing.
He did the thing. Anyone else?
Was that giggle at the end? Did anyone else hear that little Dom, you're not helping the creepy factor. We're trying to defend Dom. Yeah. Oh, now my dog's upset. You upset Marty. Marty heard the giggle, and I got to go let him out.
Oh, no.
You say hi to folks while
all right, I'll say hi. Triple E, what's up? Anyone else? Pop seeing Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys at All Out. And
am I the only one who didn't know who that actually was?
I'd never seen Trailer Park Boys before. I heard things about it, so I'm sure people did pop for it, but it was off my radar, Robert.
Come on.
You ever seen Trailer Park Boys?
Come on, Marty. I have no idea what it is. I'm not the target audience for.
It's a Canadian comedy. It's a Canadian.
No, I know. Again, this is what happens when you're friends with Lance Storm. You have to learn about things like corner gas and pretend like I know what this is.
Then Triple E also adds, screw that person. Dom is one of the best co-host commentators in the Indies. Thank you, sir. Willie Thornbury says, I turned on ESPN Saturday night and I saw Brock Lesnar versus John Cena from 2014.
So this is what's frustrating. Is I obviously on Saturday was watching college football live.
Yes.
And I've got there's so many thoughts. I'm not going to have time to get all these thoughts. I'm going to do this very quickly. I'm trying to avoid spoilers and everything. So I have all my group chats on mute. I have my Dom group chat on mute. I have another wrestling group chat on mute so that nothing gets spoiled. I'm watching ESPN. I'm watching ABC. They do a live drop-in in the middle of the Brock Lesnar-John Cena match.
Do they really?
What are you guys doing to me?
Wow. I mean, that's a good thing for ESPN to do, but...
Oh, no, there's not. I hate everything that ESPN did.
Really?
Here's the... all right. It's very tough to say this without cursing, and I'm going to get through this very, very quickly. I wasn't planning on doing the rant right here. I love the ESPN WWE partnership. I think the way that WWE opened WrestlePalooza with that video of wrestling is sports entertainment because all of sports is sports entertainment is a great argument to make. However, watching College Game Day, which happened to be down here it was in Miami, wasn't able to go, which absolutely killed me. It was my daughter's homecoming dance, whatever. We had family obligations. She wanted to go too. She wanted to go see Pat. the way that they talked about WWE on there with this completely serious in kayfabe tone is damning and stupid. When they did picks at the end for the college football, here, who's going to win what game, they also did picks for Brock Lesnar and John Cena. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, guys, you're missing how to promote this. You can promote this as a great evening of entertainment with athletic feats of strength. When you're trying to do it straight-faced, when they were talking, when the announcers throughout the day were doing the arrivals, they kept cutting back and forth on college football. They're like, oh, and here's AJ Lee and CM Punk are arriving at the building for their big tag match tonight. It's like, it makes it sound even dumber. It makes it like this weird tongue-in-cheek thing, like, we're just going to play along and placate in the way that you do, like, kids, I hear something on the roof. I think Santa might be here. And the number of my friends who are sports fans who have no wrestling appreciation knowledge, whatever, are like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. You guys know this is fake, right? And I hate that. I hate that narrative. I hate all that. And the way they presented it didn't do them any favors. Mm-hmm. That being said, there was 9.5 hours of wrestling. 8.5 hours of that, I think, came from our friends at All Elite Wrestling. And they had every wrestling match imaginable.
Right. They sure did. They sure did. But Robert, I think that's a great point, though. It's just like if you're ESPN, you're kind of insulting your fans' intelligence of when you see that kind of stuff of, oh, hey, if you embrace it as a pro wrestling aspect, then it's a different story. But you can't.
Also, there's the other factor at play here, which is I am a somewhat relatively smart man, at least in terms of just like general populace. I don't seem to run afoul of Cornette, so we'll call that a win. I'm kidding. I have actually worked with him before. And
oh, have you?
MLW. At the MLW show you were talking about. Oh God, I even said you had me. Dude, what are you doing to me, man? I am all out. I'm like,
you were there. Me and you were there together.
Yeah, I didn't. Like, I was going to interact with fans. I'm sorry, with the media. Anyway, no, at that show, I was busy getting threatened by the Russian mob at that show. Right. So that's a story for a different time. Anyway, and anyhow, I was trying to figure out how to watch WrestlePalooza. I go into the app gimmick, and it's like, yeah, you don't have what you need, and I'm like, long story short, I was able to upgrade my existing bundle, but it required so much extra work because I have the Disney Plus and the Hulu ESPN package, but I have it without ads because I'm not going to sit and watch ads on Disney Plus and Hulu if I'm watching anything. But they don't immediately come out and show you there's a way to do it ad free. Like there was an additional tier. So for an extra $8 or whatever it is for a month, you get everything I already had plus ESPN Unlimited. I had to go log in, had to do it from my actual laptops. You couldn't do it on the phone. They made it so much more complicated than they needed to. And what WWE realistically should have done is they should have done a special before WrestlePalooza just to get people to test to make sure they had everything configured. A pre-show, a press conference, a something. They did it at 3:00 in the afternoon that day. And that's how I realized, oh, something's not right. But that was the first opportunity you had, which was like 4 hours before the PLE started. And quite frankly, I was watching the Gator game anyway. And I had to watch them beat John Cena against Brock Lesnar. But actually, that's not fair. Miami's actually not very good. Florida just played terribly. We have 22 minutes to get through 9.5 hours of wrestling, Dom. Let's do this in lightning fast speed.
Let's do it to it. We'll start with AEW All Out since that started off.
What are you doing to me? Fine. We're not doing the pre-show. I don't care about the 97-woman tag match. And I'm pretty sure the Workhorsemen wrestled on this.
Yes, they did.
As soon as I saw a JD Drake match, I went, you know what? I like JD Drake.
I do too.
I did make a comment. Someone got mad at me where I'm like, he looks like Kevin Owens. If Kevin Owens really wasn't trying.
Well, hey, they tried.
He's a nice guy. I like JD Drake. Sorry, I'm not meaning to be a dick. Main show,
Cajun Cope versus FTR. What did you think of this one, Robert? Cajun Cope defeated FTR. Beth Phoenix shows up. Beth Copeland, I guess I should call her. She showed up and took a pile driver from FTR as well. But Cage and Cope get the win. Post-match angle is clear indication the feud is far from over, though, Robert. So what do you think of this opener?
Yeah, Cope watching other guys pile drive his wife says everything you need to know about their relationship, and that's fine. I thought it was funny that they were trying to get the jump on real life spouses getting involved physically in matches.
Yeah,
that night was going to go. It was a turn back the clock thing. I thought the little them walking in, having some interactions with some Canadian celebrities and hockey players and whatnot was cute. It was fine. The match itself, it was trying to be a nostalgia match, which is okay. I think that Cope took way too much at the end and recovered.
Mm-hmm.
He got hit with a bell. He got hit with a pipe or a spike or something like that. He took 2 shatter machines, kicked at everything. And then I get he was doing a Cena homage, but that was a little too Super Cena-y for my liking. And I don't see where they really go from here. You know, you had the moment of Beth Phoenix returning to go try to even the odds with Stokely. They attacked, his wife after these dastardly heels. But yet I just saw Cage and Cope beat FTR with FTR throwing everything they had at him.
And I think the only thing you could really do is put the titles on FTR and then build it to that at some point here. And that's how you continue. But I'm kind of with you, though. It's like you could have just basically end cap this right here and there and had
which was, I thought this was going to be the main event, quite frankly. And this was going to be your send everybody home, happy, happy, joy, joy. They opened with it. Crowd did their best. This is a Toronto crowd. They were super hot. I don't think they gave them in certain instances. I just think the show was, and I know Scott Chaplin is already disagreeing with me, and it's fine. It was just too long. They just gave you too many matches where they were trying to make everything an epic moment. Like Beth comes back and Shivani is like, you will remember where you were when this happened. This was the all-time greatest moment in the history of our sport. Okay.
Sounds familiar.
Yes.
And hey, another return. Eddie Kingston took on Big Bill and got the win. Missed finish, basically. Didn't fully connect on his back fist. So the finish ended awkwardly. What do you think of this one, Robert?
Return was awkward. I was when I recorded with Scott a working stick, which is up now and available. We did it early in the morning from my hotel room before I was flying back. So I was like, hey, I'm just kind of like piecemealing information. And then he's like, yeah, there's a match you're going to see. And you're going to be like, huh? And I was like, wait, Eddie Kingston's back? No, I hadn't really returned yet. And why is he feuding with Big Bill? Well, we're not really sure. And then we got the match, and Eddie comes out wearing his, War on Cesaro stuff. But I'm like, well, that's a different feud. You got taken out by the Death Riders. So you came back to feud with Big Bill, who I'm pretty sure Big Bill and Brian Keith were basically baby faces coming off of the Jericho stuff. This was weird. You could have had a number of different ways for Eddie to return, including, the 9-month residency at the ECW arena. Right. And instead we got this. It felt kind of meaningless.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I like both guys a lot too, and I think that's a bummer and an underwhelming way to kind of make a big return for somebody like that people really love. Babyface. I mean, fans are really attracted to the babyface Eddie Kingston. I don't know, kind of frustrating. Hey, we had MJF taking on Mark Briscoe. Tables and tacks. What do you think of this one, Robert? Geez, what a bloody one. Very bloody.
So I'm pretty sure I saw footage of MJF the night prior in CMLL in a massive bloodbath. And then I see that, the poor dude, Max, if you need some blood, I didn't send you a proper wedding gift. I will gladly send you a pint of some of that good Jew blood that I got flowing through. It's fine. There's a story behind that joke, and I'm not going to have time to get into it now. I don't understand the tables and tacks stipulation because tacks were not part of this feud to begin with. Mm-hmm. And if anything, tables and tacks would have made more sense for the Moxley Darby match. And a coffin match would have made sense because the guy's making fun of his dead brother. That's beside the point. It was a lot of tacks. They used tacks a lot, over and over. They bled a lot. And then by the end of the night, you kind of forgot about it because they already had all these other hardcore style matches set up for this show. This is why when I say there's too many matches, it's too many matches. This standing on its own as being the lone blood match of a show, hey, that could have been somewhat memorable. I think they were hindered a little bit by the stipulation. This was a blood feud, no pun intended. And then it just turned into how many different ways can we use tax?
Right. It's you kind of box yourself in when you have a stipulation like that. Oh, you got to use tax and tables.
And how comfortable are we beating Max in this sort of situation where I know he's got the contract, and it's like, I genuinely don't fully understand what's going on here.
I don't mind.
I get that Mark needed to win the feud, but this was like the third match on the show. It didn't feel super definitive. Like Max wasn't stretchered out. He got it. He was like just rolling out of the ring when it was over and just kind of looked annoyed that he lost.
Right.
I don't know. Dom, we got 15 minutes and 72 matches to go. We got to go.
Let's plow through here. Any quick thoughts on the Syndicate versus the Demand, I guess they're called now? And then we have Mercedes Moné versus Riho. Any quick thoughts on those two matches?
I love the one-on-one match we got with Lashley on Dynamite. This was lesser than. Using MVP a lot in this match didn't help. I love MVP, but he was probably the weakest of the six, and I think they relied on him a lot. And the finish is what we kind of predicted. He's the guy who's in there to take the pin. Fine.
Right. Speaking of taking the pin, we had Okada defeating Takeshita and Mascara Dorada as well, and it was Okada getting the win here. Do you think? I thought they should have changed titles here, gave Takeshita the win, but what do you think?
No, it's too soon to give Takeshita the win. I think that the notion this story felt incredibly rushed. Match was incredible, by the way. This was a blast to watch, but Mascara Dorada doesn't really have the capital with the audience, really. And if this was a guy you were building to be part of this triple threat, you should have been focusing on him a lot on TV over the last several weeks as being a major star. The idea that there's tension between Okada and Takeshita, they teased it briefly on Dynamite, and then it sort of existed on Collision. And as the ratings bear out, Collision is a black hole that you don't really know what's going on. That's not really the wrestler's fault. That's more of just programming more than anything else. And then the idea that the Don Callis family still kept the title and there's tension and all that. They need to treat this like a world title. It almost feels like you could have built 2 pay-per-views off of this show.
Absolutely, you could have. Definitely. This, to your point, too many matches. We had Moxley defeating Darby Allin in that coffin match, aforementioned coffin match, but we had a return. It was Pac coming back and helping the Death Riders get the win for this one. Do you like this? Do you like another Pac making his return and on the heel side again? And what do you think of all this, Robert?
Dear Toronto, bless your hearts for the "This is murder" chant. I just tell me you're not taking this seriously without telling me you're not taking this seriously.
Yeah.
The bag spots, Pac return. So this is the weird. Oh my God. All right. This is the weirdest thing on top of all the other weirdness of this weirdness. So everybody hates the Death Riders. They're the evil murder group. So there's no disqualification. Anybody can theoretically interfere. We know Mark Briscoe is still there. We know the conglomeration is still there. We know Eddie Kingston is still there. They all have issues with the Death Riders. Nobody comes to save Darby. We thought since Gabe Kidd got dragged out in a body bag, he's the guy who's going to make the return, which made a lot of sense. Instead, it's Pac with a weird-ass looking haircut, who I'm pretty sure is going to wind up getting injured or deported again in the next. Like, he's there, you get excited, and then 3 weeks later, he's just gone for a year. He's a very hard guy to really kind of get behind. And yeah, you have this finish where Darby loses.
Yeah.
And then later on, then you get the payoff.
Hey, we had a new champion. Chris Statlander defeats Tony Storm, Thekla, and Jamie Hayter. Good move on their part to put the title on Statlander, or what do you think?
I think the problem is that it was so lather, rinse, repeat with the women's division. It's like, if Tony won, then who's the next thing for her? And it made the most sense to have her lose in the 4-way. I thought she was not going to be the one to take the pin, quite frankly. That maybe her and Thekla were going to be out brawling somewhere, and that you were going to catch Jamie Hayter, or was going to get a quick pin, or Chris, or whatever it was. Statlander's a new choice, but she's going to get sucked into the Death Rider storyline. And now you're going to get this situation where the women's world title is going to be a little less than, because it's going to be what's going on with her and Willow, and are they friends or are they not friends, and is it going to involve Marina Shafir?
Right.
They need. Hopefully, there's a lot of follow through. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. We had Brodito, the tag team champions, go in a ladder match and then get the win. Young Bucks also are obviously in this match. This means we get the return of Jungle Boy and the reunion of Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. What do you think of that, Robert?
That was a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of felt like there was a reason Jack Perry was off TV for a while. We were building up. He was the scapegoat. Everyone kept thinking he was going to return in some sort of mastermind heel capacity, especially since you do need a new heel to kind of go after Hangman. Instead, we're reuniting him and Luchasaurus. Sure, fine. Good ladder match. Right team went over. We'll see.
We'll talk about that later on. But
yeah,
Hangman Page, Kyle Fletcher, main event, world title on the line. Hangman Page defeats Fletcher after buckshot lariat. Did you enjoy this match? Was this an appropriate main event? And what do you think of Page getting the win here?
It was exactly what we kind of talked about before. It felt like a weird rush job without a lot of storyline to put Fletcher in this position. The match was great. I think they absolutely delivered. We've said all along Kyle Fletcher's a big star. It was too early to change the title. It's also too early to put him into this match.
Yes.
Where you're going to go and beat him, because it's like, okay, well, where are we going to go from here? They set up that stipulation that no one from the Don Callis family could interfere, or else he would lose the TNT title. So it did feel like there was a possibility or situation where something was going to happen. Maybe it's a Takeshita miscommunication or something like that, and it cost them the title. Instead, we just got a straight up big wrestling match, and it's okay. Where do we go from here?
Yep. Hey, we'll maybe get more information on that Wednesday. We'll find out. Let's get to WrestlePalooza. Robert, took place
9 minutes, 5 matches. We can do this, Tom.
Yes, we can definitely do this. Hey, John Cena and Brock Lesnar definitely opened. They had the match. John Cena came out with a bunch of kids. Really heartwarming. Then he gets destroyed by Brock Lesnar.
He is 0 for 2 when he brings out a bunch of kids.
I love that moment. I thought that was so heartwarming. And it's like I thought it was really, really cool. But Brock Lesnar was jacked, man. And he destroyed Cena. What did you think of this as a decision in opening the match? Not only that, but the result itself.
Check the archives, kids. Well over 2 months ago, I had predicted War Games, we were going to get some sort of situation where Brock Lesnar unites with the Vision. And we saw Paul Heyman return to go coach Brock. This was, again, they wanted the first match on ESPN to be Brock Lesnar, John Cena. And they tried to do a version of their SummerSlam match. And the idea of this is sports and not sports entertainment, and things are going to get physical and it's going to be sloppy and whatever. It didn't work. Mm-hmm. And it did not set the right tone. It was just an odd finish where, again, you're like, well, where do we go from here? We've got 5 matches left with John. I don't know. I think there was a lot of other creative ways they could have gotten out of this. Didn't care for it.
I didn't mind it, but it wasn't like, ooh, okay. I just felt, okay, what's next? What's going on next?
It's okay, what's next, but we don't have that much more time to get to what's next. We don't have that much more time here. We got 4 matches. What's next?
We got Usos and the Vision going down.
Coffee's beeping. I got to turn the coffee on. I'm listening.
The Vision gets the win here. That is Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, mind you. A botched spot at the end as Jey Uso accidentally busted himself open with a chair, and they had to call an audible here. So
there was a lot of blood in that match.
A lot of blood.
Of blood. It was fine. LA Knight being the referee.
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe this is where LA Knight's going to turn and he's going to join the Vision. Instead, no, we just beat the Usos. It became a no DQ match, even though it wasn't really a no DQ match. It was fine.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't great. It wasn't the worst thing ever. You advance the storyline a little bit. It's clear they're trying to add more gravitas to whatever's going on with Jey Uso, and that's just not who he is right now.
Right.
And I think the crowd just they want to yeet, they want to cheer for him. This is weird.
I hope he's okay. He was a little freaked out, I think, after all the blood. He must have been losing a lot of blood, Robert, because
he was definitely
Jimmy trying to comfort him after the fact and stuff. It looked pretty bad.
Yep.
Mixed tag match, CM Punk and AJ taking on Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. It is AJ and Punk getting the win. Becky taps. And what did you think of the presentation of this match? And what do you think of AJ's performance?
Look, it was better than what we had thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
They wisely kept AJ out for a while, where you got excited to see when she finally did appear, or actually compete in the ring. They told a good story. Crowd was really into it. It was sort of the right finish. I thought we were going to see a little bit more theatricality after. I thought there was going to be a situation where either they take out AJ. I would have liked to, honestly, it's like I had pitched this with Scott. I would have liked to have seen the Vision pop up. And as much as I'm not a huge fan of like the mixed wrestling aspect of it, Bronson Reed tsunamiing AJ. And Punk because it's this idea, they set up the idea of how, your neck is not in good shape and, you're being put in harm's way. And Punk's like, look, it's my wife. She's going to do what she's going to do. Okay, you have to face the consequences. And the consequences should have been, and the fact that Paul would have been the guy behind all that would have made it even more like, you okayed doing this to my wife. Now I want revenge. Now you're setting up further, stakes for a War Games.
Yes. Oh, I like that, Robert. That's good stuff. Stephanie McCool is your new World Women's Champion. She defeated Io Sky. This was in the middle of the road here kind of match, I think, when it comes to where it was positioned. But what do you think? Are you happy Stephanie's the champ? I think
not a middle of the road, Matt. Look, hook this to my veins. This was friggin'
I didn't mean from a standpoint. That in the card, but yeah.
I was a little surprised they went with Stephanie. I liked it, but I think part of the challenge that you're running into is the reason why I said I would have probably gone with Io when all is said and done is there are storylines in place right now with Io and Asuka and whatever's going on with Rhea Ripley. If you're not immediately pivoting to Asuka versus Stephanie McCool, where necessarily are you going with it? There's not another challenger lined up for her. You want to keep the momentum behind the main women's title. So I probably would have gone with Io, but then it's like, well, where are we going with Stephanie? Obviously the Naomi pregnancy had to make them make some pivots in terms of storyline, and that's fine. Where they ultimately wound up, we'll see going forward. I do know, their next big PLE is Crown Jewel in Perth.
True.
Which means you got to get Rhea involved somewhere, somehow.
Yeah. Do you need her involved in that match, though, since she's the hometown hero? So I don't think you do. I don't think you do. I think you could put her in a different realm and people would be happy. Hey, were people happy about this? Cody Rhodes defeats Drew McIntyre to close out the show. I thought the finish was pretty fun. Basic kind of main event storytelling, I think, in regards to ring psychology and how it all happened. What do you think, Robert?
Card placement did this one in. This was a perfectly fine match with a perfectly straightforward story. I think that I get why you want to put the world title on in the main event. Makes complete sense from an old school perspective. The story of the match with Cody kind of being hurt and then Drew kind of overcoming his hurt leg himself because the referee pulled Cody, and we're trying to tell these subtle stories of Drew being screwed yet again for the 1,000th time. And then the show just kind of ended, and you're like, well, what's the big reveal? What was the big moment that we were supposed to get? Hunter kind of teased like, this is going to be a show for the ages. And there was no extra moment. Is it like Cody wins and then Brock comes out and destroys him? No, we didn't get that. Cody wins, and then, oh no, here's Kevin Owens from the crowd, and he's healed up, and he's healthy, and he's coming for blood. Like, there was no next thing. It was just Cody wins, he's a babyface, Drew is angry, the end.
Right. Well, when's their next ESPN event, though? It's not till next. Is it till next year? Right.
I don't know how this works, dude. I barely work here. Though programming note, I will not be working here tomorrow as it's Rosh Hashanah. I'll be off tomorrow, but I'll be back on Wednesday.
Well, programming, there won't be a show tomorrow because I'll be maybe doing media day with AEW. The AEW's in town for Pittsburgh, so there might not be a show.
There we go. So we'll be back on Wednesday. We'll be taking a break. This is how we find out these things.
Yes.
It's the way life works.
There still might be a show, but if I don't get any interviews or anything like that, but we'll see what happens. So.
Yes, well, but we'll definitely be back on Wednesday, which means we'll be talking all things Raw. We'll be prepping all things AEW Dynamite. I'm actually about to go record right now with Scott Chaplin for the Working Stiff Patreon, so that'll be up later on today. But you can catch us, the exception is tomorrow, every Monday through Friday at noon Eastern on a plethora of platforms, including WWE Creative _ISH X account, the @Dominic D'Angelo X account, the @SE Scoops X account, the @Jim Cornette Experience. No, I don't think
wait.
We might not be there, but we're definitely on YouTube on Rumor and Innuendo and ad-free shows. So on behalf of the man that I unequivocally can say is the best producer in all of wrestling podcasting, Dominic D'Angelo, I'm Robert Karpolis. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Jim Cornette sure thinks so too.